If you've spent any time in the garden, you've probably heard passionate opinions about compost. Some gardeners swear by hot composting, carefully building piles that heat up like a miniature furnace. Others quietly pile up organic waste in a corner and let nature do the rest through slow cold composting. Both methods create compost, but they work very differently. And if your goal is to build rich, living soil that grows stronger plants year after year, the choice between hot compost and cold compost can make a big difference. On the Soil Science Garden, we focus on understanding the soil beneath our feet, the living ecosystem that supports everything we grow. Compost is one of the most powerful tools we have for improving that ecosystem. But the question many gardeners ask is this: which method actually creates better soil? Today, we're diving deep into the science, the practical gardening reality, and the long-term soil benefits of hot compost versus cold compost. By the end, you'll know exactly which approach fits your garden, your schedule, and your soil-building goals. Now, before we compare these two methods, it's important to understand what compost really is. Compost isn't just, rotted organic matter. It's actually a complex biological transformation where microorganisms, fungi, insects, and earthworms all work together to break down organic materials into something called stable humus. And let me tell you, this humus becomes one of the most valuable parts of fertile soil. Good compost. Well, it improves soil structure, increases water retention, feeds beneficial microbes, and slowly releases nutrients to your plants. It also acts like a sponge for nutrients, keeping them from washing away during rain or irrigation. Whether you decide on hot or cold composting, the goal is always the same: turn kitchen scraps, leaves, grass clippings, and garden waste into rich organic matter that really fuels your soil. The difference is all about how quickly the process happens, and which biological pathways take the lead during decomposition. Hot composting is, an accelerated composting method designed to break down organic materials rapidly using some pretty intense microbial activity. When you get the right balance of nitrogen-rich materials, what we call greens, and carbon-rich materials, or browns, all mixed together in a big enough pile, those microorganisms start consuming the material at an explosive rate. As they metabolize all that organic matter, they release heat as a byproduct. A properly built hot compost pile can reach temperatures between 55 and 70 degrees Celsius, or about 130 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit, within just a few days. This heat, honestly, is the defining feature of hot composting. The high temperatures kill off many weed seeds, plant pathogens, and harmful microbes. Gardeners who want clean, finished compost quickly often choose this method. Hot composting does require some attention, though. The pile needs to be turned regularly to keep oxygen flowing and to keep that decomposition process active. Moisture levels have to be balanced too. If it gets too dry, the microbes slow down, and if it's too wet, the pile can turn anaerobic. But when you manage it well, hot compost can transform raw organic material into usable compost in as little as 3 to 8 weeks. For gardeners looking for fast results, that kind of speed is, incredibly attractive. Cold composting is the slow, natural decomposition of organic matter without the intense heat you see in those hot compost systems. In this method, you just add your organic materials to a pile or bin over time, nice and easy. Instead of carefully balancing carbon and nitrogen, you let the materials accumulate gradually as they become available. Decomposition still happens here, but it takes place at lower temperatures and is driven by a wider range of soil organisms, like fungi, bacteria, insects, worms, and other decomposers. Since the microbial activity isn't as concentrated, cold compost piles rarely heat up all that much, and because of that, the process just takes longer. Cold compost can take anywhere from 6 months to 2 years to fully break down into finished compost. Now, while that might sound a bit slow, cold composting has its own powerful advantages, especially when it comes to building soil that's rich with all kinds of biology. Hot composting, really depends on these special microorganisms called thermophilic bacteria. They just love high temperatures. When you get the right mix of nitrogen, carbon, oxygen, and moisture in your pile, these microbes start multiplying like crazy. Their fast metabolism creates a lot of heat, and that's what makes the compost pile get so darn hot. In the hot phase, organic matter breaks down real fast. Things like proteins, sugars, and the simpler parts of plants are the first to decompose. After a while, the compost moves into what's called the curing stage, and then the cooler-loving microbes take over, finishing the job and stabilizing the material. The best thing about hot composting is honestly the speed. It's quick, and it helps with sanitation too. Those high temperatures, they're great for killing off weed seeds and plant pathogens, which is especially handy if you're tossing in diseased plants or stubborn weeds. But, the heat can also cut down on some of the microbial diversity. A lot of the organisms that like cooler conditions just can't survive the hot phase. The compost you end up with is still top-notch, but it might not be quite as biologically diverse as the stuff you get from slow, cold composting. Cold composting works differently. Instead of relying on heat-loving bacteria, it allows a broader ecosystem of organisms to participate in decomposition. Fungi play a major role in cold compost systems. They specialize in breaking down tough materials like lignin and cellulose found in wood, leaves, and stems. Earthworms, beetles, springtails, and other soil creatures gradually shred and digest organic matter, mixing it with soil microbes. Because temperatures remain moderate, this process preserves a greater diversity of life in the compost. The result is often a more biologically active soil amendment, rich in fungal networks and microbial communities. For gardeners focused on long-term soil health, this biodiversity can be extremely valuable. When gardeners ask which compost is better, they often mean which one contains more nutrients. The truth is that both hot and cold compost produce valuable nutrients. However, the nutrient dynamics differ slightly. Hot composting can lead to some nitrogen loss because high temperatures cause ammonia to volatilize into the air. Frequent turning can also accelerate nutrient loss if the pile dries out. Cold composting tends to preserve more nutrients because the breakdown process is slower and, gentler. Over time, cold compost often develops a higher concentration of stable organic compounds that release nutrients gradually. In practical terms, both types will enrich soil effectively, but cold compost may provide slightly more long-term nutrient stability. One of the strongest arguments for hot composting is its ability to kill weed seeds and plant pathogens. The high temperatures in hot compost piles can destroy many unwanted seeds that would otherwise survive in cold compost systems. If you regularly compost aggressive weeds, diseased plant material, or seeds from invasive plants, hot composting offers a clear advantage. Cold composting does not reliably reach temperatures high enough to kill seeds or pathogens. Some seeds may survive and sprout when the compost is applied to garden beds. For gardeners who maintain clean beds and remove seed heads before composting, this may not be a major issue, but it is something to keep in mind. Soil structure is one of the most overlooked aspects of gardening. Healthy soil should contain a balance of mineral particles, organic matter, air spaces, water, and living organisms. Compost plays a critical role in forming stable soil aggregates that improve drainage and root growth. Cold compost often excels in this area because it contains more partially decomposed organic fragments and fungal components that help glue soil particles together. These compounds contribute to the formation of stable humus. Hot compost tends to break materials down more completely. While this produces a fine, uniform compost, some of the larger structural components may be lost during rapid decomposition. Both types improve soil, but cold compost may have a slight advantage when it comes to building long-term soil structure. From a practical standpoint, the biggest difference between the two methods is effort. Hot composting requires active management. The pile must be built with the right ratio of materials, monitored for temperature, and turned regularly to maintain oxygen levels. This can feel like a rewarding science experiment for gardeners who enjoy hands-on soil building. Cold composting, on the other hand, is incredibly simple. You add organic materials to a pile and allow nature to do the work. There's no need to monitor temperature or turn the pile constantly. For busy gardeners or beginners, cold composting is often the easiest entry point into composting. So which compost actually makes better soil? The answer depends on your gardening goals. If you want compost quickly, need to eliminate weed seeds, or enjoy actively managing the process, hot composting is an excellent choice. But if your goal is maximum biological diversity and long-term soil building, cold compost may produce compost that is richer in microbial life and fungal components. You know, many experienced gardeners eventually realize that the best approach is not about choosing just one method over the other. Instead, they combine both. In the real world, a lot of gardeners use a hybrid composting strategy. They run a hot compost pile for fast production of clean compost during the growing season. At the same time, they maintain a cold compost pile where leaves, woody materials, and slower decomposing plant waste accumulate over time. The hot pile provides quick compost for planting beds, while the cold pile matures slowly into deeply rich humus. This approach actually mirrors how natural ecosystems work. Some organic matter decomposes rapidly, while other materials break down slowly over years. Together, these processes create resilient soil. No matter which composting method you choose, there are several principles that will dramatically improve your results. First, diversity of materials is key. Compost made from many types of organic matter supports a wider microbial ecosystem than compost made from only a few ingredients. Kitchen scraps, leaves, grass clippings, plant stems, coffee grounds, and shredded paper all contribute different nutrients and structures. Second, moisture balance is essential. Compost organisms thrive when the pile feels like a wrung-out sponge, moist but not waterlogged. Third, avoid adding synthetic chemicals, herbicide-treated plants, or heavily contaminated materials to your compost pile. Healthy compost begins with clean inputs. You know, healthy soil is becoming one of the most important environmental issues of our time. All across the world, soils are losing organic matter because of erosion, chemical overuse, and, well, intensive agriculture. But compost, it's honestly one of the simplest ways gardeners can reverse that trend in their own backyards. Every compost pile is a small ecosystem rebuilding the biological engine of the soil. Whether you choose hot composting, cold composting, or even a combination of both, you are actively participating in the restoration of living soil. And, well, that's one of the most powerful things a gardener can do. Hot compost and cold compost are not competing systems. They are simply two different paths toward the same goal, building rich, fertile soil. Hot composting offers speed, sanitation, and quick results. Cold composting offers simplicity, biodiversity, and deeply matured organic matter. Both methods can transform kitchen scraps and garden waste into one of the most valuable resources a gardener can produce. The real secret is simply this: start composting and keep feeding your soil. Over time, your garden will reward you with healthier plants, stronger harvests, and soil that becomes richer every year. If you found this guide helpful and want to learn more about the science behind healthier soil and better gardening, make sure to subscribe to The Soil Science Garden. And if you know a fellow gardener who's trying to decide between hot compost and cold compost, share this with them so we can keep spreading the knowledge of building living soil.